challenge everything she just said. So, my opponent brings up the statement saying that the LAPD, the number of LAPD shootings is increasing. What she doesn't cite, however, is that added link to the LAPD shootings increasing is about a 20% increase in violent crimes. Violent crimes meaning crimes in which a policeman feels his life is threatened, such as robberies, anything where the suspect has a weapon of some sort. And so we saw a 20% increase by the end of 2015 as opposed to the end of 2014. And so these two statistics are directly linked. And as she said, it is very objective in that they define the exact definition for deadly weapon is, for deadly force is that the force itself is so she says that deadly force is used instead of a lot of alternatives, but in the LAPD and the LA community, we find a lot more deadly crimes committed and more of a very unsafe environment in that area. I'm just saying that it's statistically shown that that's a very hot spot, as someone call it, for crime. And so it would make sense that a lot of policemen in that area would react very fearfully. So it is objectively said, or the policy is objective. It is the job of the officer to make the decision where he or she feels objectively as though her life were in danger. The gut reflex of an officer of the law is paramount when consulting as to what the right decision is, in what situation is, and whether that time of the decision is correct. So we place that decision in the hands of the policemen, and we trust them with that. And it does state in one of their in the manual, it states, control may be exercised, control meaning deadly force or any type of reprimanding through physical force. Control may be exercised through advice, warnings, and persuasion, or by the use of the physical force. Officers are permitted to use force that is objectively reasonable, meaning that it is within the reason of the police officer, him or herself. Objectively reasonable to defend themselves, others, to effect an arrest or detention, and or to prevent escape or overcome resistance, consistent with the department's policy of use of force. So what I see in this is that we don't need to, what my opponent brings up is that we don't need to limit gun use, we need to hire better police officers. That's what I'm hearing. And that's rather irrelevant to the argument itself. And I would also like to state that it is a rare phenomena in itself for a policeman to use force, as only 0.13% of over 15 million recorded encounters with the public and police as of the year 2015, December of 2015, have been related to force. And about, I believe it was 48 of those were lethal. So, we find that it's a very minuscule number. And I'd like to also challenge what she said at the end, that the statement, human life stands at a low reverence for the LAPD, but as she said, it is in the handbook, and it says in the handbook, whenever an operation designed to achieve an immediate goal, such as the arrest of a felon or the gathering of evidence to complete a criminal investigation, causes a victim, witness, or other innocent person to be subjected to potential injury or death, our primary objective must be to protect that person. It is not within the police's agenda to have innocent people die. And so it is in their hands that they make those decisions. And in most cases, it's for the best. There was one instance of a subway where, or a suspect was seen at a subway holding up two of the cashiers at knife point. And so the policeman went in, shot him in the shoulder, he collapsed to the ground, and then was apprehended. That is safe gun use. And like I said, those who are capable of using guns should use the guns. But if it's the issue of policemen, rather, that's a completely different issue off the table that we need to address separately. But as it stands with me, there's nothing wrong with the policy that we have for the LAPD firearms. Thank you.